If I were to ask you, what is the most liked post in the world on Instagram? You'd be like, oh, maybe something Cristiano Ronaldo posted, or something Kylie Jenner posted, or something Beyonce posted, or, something Messi posted. But you'd be wrong. It is, in fact, a simple boiled egg that was posted. That is the most popular thing on Instagram. So, in conclusion, the boiled egg is what is holding our nation together. It is the backbone of society. It is the protein to the poor. It is the delicacies to the rich. It is... Pause. I have now been informed at the time of recording this that this is no longer the most popular post or well-liked post on Instagram. It is actually something done by Messi. So forget everything I just said. We're moving on. I may or may not have gone off on a tangent, but that is not important. What is important is that boiled eggs aren't actually boring. You just suck at making them. And by you, I mean all of us included. Just this once, because, I am amazing and spectacular in this, super duper, super cool chef that you've never met before. However, I am guilty of just using boiled egg as a protein and just throwing salt, pepper, and furikake on it and calling it a day. But since I'm tired of being basic, let's try 4 different recipes and decide which egg recipe I'm going to commit my life to and eat for the rest of my days. Alright, so let's get some prep out of the way. I am boiling, I think 15 eggs in total, because originally I was gonna make 5 egg recipes, but then I messed up on the tea egg one, so that didn't make a showing. But anyway, you boil your eggs for 6 minutes, put it immediately into an ice bath because you want everything to still be jammy. As you can see here, I am peeling the eggs, and originally I thought I was going to be able to flex on all of you that my eggs always come out perfect every time I boil it. However, as you can tell, it did not come out perfect this time. It came out looking like an ugly instead of a pretty, so pretend you didn't see that, and let's pretend all my eggs are perfect, because they are. Okay, cool. We're going to be starting off with the tiger eggs, and these are eating hot. You're going to start up by chopping up your garlic and your chilies into itty bitty pieces as small as possible. Then we're going to take our previously boiled eggs and we're going to slice it lightly with the knife. I think this is supposed to let the seasoning in, but I don't really know. You're gonna take your egg, you're gonna fry it in some hot oil. You're supposed to let these get golden, but I was kind of afraid that my eggs were going to explode, so they only got lightly golden, but you can fry it more if you want. Then after you're done, you're gonna start with your sauce. So I added the soy sauce and I added some mirin, and then, well, I ended up using my whole entire mirin, but it's not the point. I added the gochujang that I was going to use, about a tablespoon, and then I added all the seasonings that I chopped up, which is the garlic and the chilies. Stir that up together with some beer and sugar, and just let that boil. I don't really drink beer, so I kind of just got the beer that was on sale at my grocery store. But yeah, just mix that up and let it boil. I let my sauce get really thick, and I don't think you're supposed to let it get this thick, but it doesn't matter. Add your egg in there, and basically you're just going to continue basting it with the sauce until it's sticky like this. And here's the big reveal, the tiger eggs. I added green onions and sesame seeds, and doesn't it look so good? Anyways, guys, the taste is so good. It's sweet but savory and a little bit spicy, and because the yolk was still runny and the egg was hot, it just tasted really, really good. This is already high up there. I gave this an 8 out of 10 because the stickiness, the sweetness, the saltiness, the savoriness, the spiciness was a banger. China, you did your big one with this one. It was really, really good. I highly recommend this one. Next, we're going to be making the Cajun boiled egg, and this just has a lot of seasoning, like herby seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, Old Bay, and you're going to saute that in some butter along with some extra garlic and really let that cook down. Add your lemon juice, add some hot sauce, add some more lemon juice, and then I added a little bit of gochujang just for that red spicy color. Cook it down, and then you're done. And while it's still hot, you're going to want to pour it over the boiled eggs and really give it a good mix and a good shake. I started off stirring off with the chopsticks, but chopsticks were not enough. You really need to cover this and shake it up so it can get in there properly. And yeah, you can do a taste test. Oh, look, I also drew shrimps on the little label. But yeah, this was pretty good, I will say. Did it taste like a seafood boil? Kind of, but it wasn't as flavorful as I wanted it to be. But I've never made a seafood boil at home, so I really don't know what all is involved, but it tasted pretty good and it was really easy to make. But it wasn't as good as the tiger egg, so right now my ranking is tiger egg is number 1 and this is probably number 2. It was pretty good.
Oh God, it's so good. So good.
Up next, we're going to be making the Korean drug eggs, also called Mayak eggs, and this one is pretty simple. There is no heating involved whatsoever, though I think there should be. Regardless, you're chopping up some green onions, some white onions, some more chili peppers, some garlic, and once that's all chopped, you're going to put it in your bowl before you're going to start adding the ingredients, which is, again, very simple. You're going to add some soy sauce. I think it's like half a cup of soy sauce. Then you're going to add some water. You're going to add some honey to that, and then you're gonna mix it up very well, very nicely, before adding some sesame seeds, and then you're gonna add your eggs in there and just give it a good shake. Now, I didn't make a lot of marinade because I only had 3 eggs, so to get around that, you can put a cling film over the top of your eggs and put it in the fridge and flip it over. I think like I flip mine every 6 hours, and yeah, that's basically it.
24 hours later.
I felt that the eggs needed a round of applause, so I gave them. And yeah, this is what they look like. It was pretty delicious. The color didn't get as deep as it could have, but I only left it in the fridge for 24 hours. But it was pretty delicious. Though I will say it's also a little bit salty, but I'm glad that like you see the jamminess, it still retained its jamminess. It was salty, not as sweet because my honey didn't like integrate properly, but it was still very good. And I would give this probably around like a 6.57 out of 10. So yeah.
This is delicious!
Last but not least, we're going to be making adobo eggs. So same way as all the other ones, you're going to chop up your garlic, chop up your peppers into very itty bitty pieces, and then you're going to put it in a pan. Add your soy sauce, add some water, add some vinegar, add some sugar. Take your chopped up garlic and peppers and saute it in there with a bay leaf for like 5 minutes. Add black pepper. They have to let it cool down. Otherwise, you are going to overcook your eggs that are already cooked. But yeah, I didn't have a spoon for some reason, so I use a chopstick. Once it's cool, dump it over your eggs. Clearly, I did not make enough sauce, so I added more water, and it completely turned out fine because it is so salty. Like this, the brothing is so salty. Yeah, cover it with a plastic wrap, stick it in the fridge.
24 hours later.
Right, bring it out. That's what it looks like. I chopped up some green onions, added it to the top, and yo, I have no idea what happened, but my fridge froze like half of the container for some reason. Mind you, this was next to all the other eggs, but listen. It froze. Like, it froze that egg of all the eggs, so I ended up eating another one, and this egg turned out completely fine. It was in the same container, so I actually don't know what was going on. Anyways, you can see the yolk jammy, the inside's jammy. It looks delicious. It tasted delicious. It was a little spicy, a little salty, not too sweet. I think I should have added more sugar, but it was still pretty good, pretty solid. Like for me, this was like a good 7.5 out of 10. It was good. Not as good as the tiger eggs, but it was still pretty good. So yeah. Anyways, we have now come to the end of the video, and I'm going to give you my final ranking. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-dun-dun. Wait, yeah. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-dun-dun-dun-dun. Okay, I'm done with the sports center or whatever. But yeah, so my ranking from the bottom, the worst tasting one of the day, I would have to give to the Cajun boiled eggs. Not because it was bad tasting, it was just mediocre compared to the rest of them. Next up on the list would probably be the Mayak eggs, the Korean ones, because it was a little too salty. Like I feel like I should have added more water, but I followed the blue plaid, 2 plaid recipe pretty spot on. So that would be third from the bottom, and now we're going to the final 2. Number 2 is okay. Number 2 is going to be the adobo eggs. They slowly work their way up on top. Even though one of the eggs froze for some random reason, I think it was still pretty good. And number 1, no competition, no contest, the king of the hill, the king of the eggs, the big bad chicken could have been, would have been itself, is the tiger eggs. They were delicious. They were hot. They were sweet, spicy, sticky. Oh, it was so good. 10 out of 10. Well, not 10 out of 10, but yeah, solid 8 to 9 out of 10. It was great. This is probably going to be the egg that I'm going to give my hand in marriage to. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. If you want me to cook anything or you have any recommendations for things you want me to try, feel free to leave a comment below, like and subscribe. Thank you again. Follow me and see you on the next one. Bye, besties. But seriously, no, give me recommendations for what to make. All right, thank you again. Bye.